Hello, everyone. It's so nice to be here with you all today. I have a meditation prepared for you that came in specifically for all of you and your energy as you're connecting in with us today. So, I'm just going to give you a little brief background on what we're going to do and what's coming in, and some of that might change as the energy shifts and we get into our space of meditation. So we're going to begin by,
Christina, I'm just going to jump in here quick. I've gotten a couple requests that they're having a hard time hearing you.
okay,
So maybe go into your mic and turn it up just a bit.
okay,
Okay,
thank
thank you.
you.
Sorry to interrupt.
Nope. Just give me one moment here to check my audio set. My mic is all the way up, so I'm just going to talk a little bit louder. So hopefully that's okay. So we're going to do a little journeying of coming from the outside world and then coming into our bodies. And we're going to do a journey through the self. So we'll go into the heart temple, and then while in the heart temple, we will go into a space to go meet an aspect of ourselves in our inner heart space. And then we will come back out and we will do an integration with our eyes open. So go ahead if you haven't already and get into a place where you can be undisturbed for a period of time, somewhere that's comfortable. So either getting really comfortable sitting or lying down. And then begin to shut the eyes down. And while we're in this space, with your eyes closed, begin with an awareness of the entire planet that we are currently living and spinning on. So, visualizing, sensing, or feeling the entire globe, the entire planet, all of the continents and countries, all of the people, all of the beings, the water, just getting a good sense for the space, this larger aspect of space that we live upon. And then dial in a bit more closely to the country that you live in and sensing the borders of that country, the states, the regions within that country, the terrain in certain location and aspects of that country. Just getting a good feel of that space of the country that you live in. Dialing in a bit closer now and coming into the state in which you reside and feeling, sensing all of the borders of this state. And what might be things or locations that surround these borders of the state. And then as you move inward, what might exist within those borders going inward. So just getting a good sense of everything that is contained within that state. Dialing inward now into the county in which you reside, and what those borders may appear like if you have an awareness. And if not, then just a general idea of maybe the cities that are contained in that space, or villages, or monuments, those kinds of things that are within the county. And just focusing on that. Coming inward more into the town, city, or village that you are in currently. Dialing it in to just the surrounding spaces of this place, this town, this city, or village that you are in currently. And then coming into the neighborhood, the surrounding neighborhood in where you are currently. So when we might think of the neighborhood that we're in, we might even visualize driving in or walking in or around this space. So just as if you had a bird's eye view of this space, just witnessing. Dialing inward, again with a bird's eye view into the building or structure in which you are currently in. So from the outside of the structure, seeing the walls of the structure, the roof of the structure, the outside doors, any spaces or land surrounding this structure. And then dialing inside of the structure. So from the inside, the view of the walls, the ceiling, the floor, an awareness of doors and windows, perhaps stairs, rooms. And then coming in closer into the room in which you are currently, and your place in this room. Again, now sensing the walls, the ceiling, the floor. And from a bird's eye view, seeing yourself in this room. Moving in closer now, coming in to your own physical, energetic field. So about 6 feet around you, begin to have this awareness of where you are in space. So as if you're in a bubble, in a sphere, feeling into this energy field. We're not trying to change anything, we're just sensing, becoming aware and feeling. Your energetic field can contain all sorts of information and feelings and vibrations that come from the outside, from inside, from the day prior, weeks prior, what you were just doing. So if it feels a little scattered or unnerving to you, or it's not exactly what you would like it to feel like, Uh, we're just looking to be aware and accept it in this moment, because that will shift. So just allowing all aspects of yourself to arrive here in this moment as we go in more deeply. So any parts of you, this includes sad parts and grieving parts, parts of you that you wish to hide, your dark sides, your light sides, your happy sides, just all sides and all parts of you. Just allow them to come into this space and just welcome them. All parts of you are welcome as we journey into this space. And then come to the surface of your skin. Just feeling now the surface of your skin, the skin and how it feels on your clothing, sensing where your back or your body is touching a chair or a floor, sensing the temperature of the room, and then we will come inward to the breath. So bringing your attention and focus only to the breath now. We've journeyed from outside in, and begin to focus only on the breath. So we'll begin by just tracking and becoming aware of our inhale, our exhale, and the spaces in between. And you can consciously take a nice deep breath now. We're going to do a short breath practice where we're going to even out the breath. So when you are ready, we'll begin to inhale to the count of 4, pause briefly, and then exhale to the count of 4, and pause briefly, and then we'll rotate through that. So take a nice deep breath in and out. And then inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. And go ahead now and continue that cycle of breath, inhaling for the count of 4, pausing and sensing the space in between breaths, exhaling for the count of 4, and pausing at the bottom of the exhale. Just a few more breaths like this, just noticing that the breath is beginning to even out. And then allowing the breath practice to fade and just continue breathing naturally, taking notice if your breath pattern began to just come and smooth out. And we will take our awareness from our breath now down into the heart space. Our awareness now is coming into the heart space. And we will visualize a flower not yet opened. So a flower bud. And as we begin to breathe in and focus our awareness on the heart space, this flower begins to open. The flower is now opened, and we consciously journey through the center of the heart, through the center of the flower, into the center of the heart. And we arrive at the bottom of the steps of our heart temple. And you look up and you see the temple of your heart. And you see a door at the top of the steps. And there's someone there greeting you, asking you to come up the stairs. And you begin your journey up the stairs of your heart temple space. And you are greeted with love and hugs and welcomed. The guides in your temple space take your hand and they bring you through the temple. And you take a moment to look around into the space, just noticing what you see, how it's decorated, and what you're feeling in your body. Your guides bring you to the back of the temple, to another door. And they open this door and it leads out to a beautiful garden. And you go down the steps and you walk out into this garden. You begin to journey down a path in this garden. And you're taking your time to really take this all in. So as you're walking through the garden of your inner heart space, notice what seeds have been planted. Notice what's blooming. Notice what is happening in this inner landscape. I'm going to give you a moment to really explore this space. And just look around and notice if you feel called to tend any parts of this garden space. Or perhaps even plant some seeds of intention. You notice perhaps that you're carrying a seed bag on your hip. Where would you like to plant seeds? And what kind of seeds would you like to plant? Are there any weeds in your garden that you would like to pull? Things that no longer serve you, that you're letting go of and ready to compost. Everything grows for a reason and in a season. And sometimes it's just time to let things go and make room for something new. So I'll give you some space to plant and tend. As you begin to wrap up this process, you can step back onto the path. Continue walking down this path in the garden. When we come to a space where the brush begins to thicken and the forest line appears, and we continue on this path and we walk into the tree line of the forest. Taking notice of the trees and the density of the forest and all the creatures that live within this forest. And use your senses for a moment to really feel into this space, listening. Perhaps you hear the wind blowing through the leaves and in between the spaces of the trees, and the birds, the sounds of the creatures as they rustle through the forest floor. Feeling the temperature of this space and noticing if it is hot or cold, damp or dry. And then using your sense of smell, taking in the smells of the forest. And on this path, we come to another opening. And this is a safe place, a place that you can build, a place that is a place to call your own, that you can come to at any time. So begin to build this landscape of your inner safe place and sanctuary. Maybe it is a place full of trees of this world or other worlds. Maybe there's a moon. The moon is rising. Or maybe there's many moons. Notice the colors in the sky. And allow your imagination to just put together what works for this moment, or what it is that comforts you so deeply. Is there water, a stream, a lake, an ocean, a waterfall? Are you on top of a mountain or at the base of a mountain? A beach, a field? As you begin to build this landscape, build yourself a space where you can rest. A place where you can sit or lay in comfort and feel open to receiving a message. And once you come into this space, just allow yourself to relax. Allow your eyes to relax, your shoulders to relax. Your belly is soft, your hips are heavy, your legs are relaxed. And you begin to notice from the distance that there is a light, and it is coming towards you. You can't quite make out what this light is yet. So we begin to sense what is coming our way. Someone or something or an aspect of ourselves, higher self, I am presence, the soul, the future self, the past self, is coming to deliver us a message. And it may be none of those things that I said. So whatever it is that you sense is coming towards you to deliver this message, trust your first instinct, your intuition. Could be a spirit guide, a spirit animal. Just feeling into this. And as this light comes closer, it reveals itself to you. And this entity or aspect of self comes to sit in front of you. And you begin to have a dialogue. And you open to receive the message from this entity or aspect of self. You can ask questions. Perhaps they hand you something. Or maybe you have a gift to give them. Allow yourself to give and receive and be in dialogue, whether it be verbal or even an energetic exchange. Breathing, relaxing, receiving. in this safe space. Knowing that even just the presence of being there, even if there was not a lot happening, that this is something very profound. Taking nice, long, deep breaths in and out. Begin wrapping up the exchange between this entity or aspect of self. Thanking them for their arrival, whatever gifts they may have given you, whatever messages they have given you. And they transform and shapeshift back into a form of light and begin to move back off into the distance. You stand up from this space and begin your journey back to the path in the forest. And as you're journeying and walking along this path in the forest, just taking notice of how you're feeling. What's different? What are you walking away with? What have you gained from this experience? Whether it be subtle or profound. We come to the edge of the path in the forest and we are back into our garden space. Take a look around and notice if anything has changed. Has anything shifted? Is there anything else that you feel called to tend to? Perhaps there's another seed that you want to plant or something that you're ready to pull. Just feeling into this space. Any last adjustments? Knowing that you could come back here anytime to tend to your garden. you'll journey back in through the back door of the temple space. You notice your guides standing at the doorway with a big smile, ready to greet you to come back in. And you come up through the steps and walk back into the temple space of your heart. The guides greet you excitedly, and they ask you about your journey. You share with them. You share with them what you've learned and what you've gained, what you sensed, what you felt. They're so proud of you for taking this journey in life in general. You're a living, walking miracle, a blessing. Each and every day, in all things that you do. Regardless of your challenges and your difficulties, you still are a miracle. Your guides walk you back to the front door, and you say goodbye. And you walk down the steps. And at the bottom of the steps, you turn around and you look back one more time at this inner temple of your heart space in awe. And you say thank you to yourself. Thank you for coming. Thank you for journeying within. You turn around and begin to walk down the path. And you see the flower that had blossomed that we journeyed through. It is larger than you. And you take a step through the center of this flower, this portal from whence you came. And you begin to have the awareness of your physical body in this space and time on Wednesday, 4/20, wherever you are located, sensing your heart space, taking a nice deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. And we'll slowly begin to integrate back into our bodies and back into space and time. So begin to make small movements in the fingers, very small. Maintaining the eyes closed if you can. Making small movements in the toes. Circling your wrists and your ankles. Beginning to bring life back into the physical body. And with your eyes closed, you can stretch your arms up. And then begin to rub your hands together briskly, creating heat in between your palms. A little faster now. And then go ahead and cover your eyes with your hands. And then slowly Begin to open your eyes with your hands covering them. You may just open your eyes just a little bit at a time, coming back. And then slowly lowering your hands. You can maintain your eyes open slightly or just all the way, whatever's most comfortable for you. We're going to feel into our energetic centers for a moment and kind of realign and then move back out into our days. So first, by bringing your awareness down into the base chakra, and just sensing that and taking some deep breaths into that space. You can also visualize it as a red flower that is blooming as you breathe into it. The root chakra, the base of the spine, a red flower opens. And then moving up to the sacral chakra, the pelvic area below the navel. An orange flower opens as you breathe into this space. The center of the belly, our solar plexus, energy center. A yellow flower opens as you breathe into this space. The heart center, the heart chakra. A green flower opens as you breathe into this space. The throat chakra, the center of the throat. A blue flower opens as you breathe into this energetic space. The space in between the eyebrows, the third eye chakra. A light blue or indigo flower opens as you breathe into this space. The crown and beyond. A violet flower opens as you breathe into this space.